Okay, here we go. And welcome back to the Steelman Podcast. Today, he's in a different area. Look at that. It's the beach.
Podcast from the lifeguard chair. Now we're going down.
Okay. Well, we got many topics for you today, but it's going to be a short one. So let's get right on into it.
Go. What's up, guys? We're still doing the annual watering of the trees, even though we're not here live. Let's go. Water them trees.
It's being recorded.
Oh, we're just going to walk down the beach here.
Okay, so what do you want to start with? Were you starting with the Cubs no-hitter on the Dodgers of all teams?
I know, right? That seems like a little bit of old news, to be honest.
No, seriously, we haven't had enough time to actually cover everything on this list at all. We kind of went over this whole NHL thing, which turned out to be a bit of like nothingness because, well, as we know, 3-0 Tampa Bay. All of a sudden, Carey Price is like, okay, now I'm going to do everything.
You thought all I had on my tricks showing out.
Carey Price is like, oh, you thought we were down 3-0? Oh, you're going to pull another Toronto Maple Leafs real quick.
But here's the, I have an interesting statistic about that, but I don't know if we want to get off topic. Tampa Bay are like 14-0, 10-0 or 14-0. The game after losing. The next game in the last two playoffs. They have not lost back-to-back games in any of the previous two playoffs.
Well, let's just hope it happens where it just loses 4. You know, I'm going to cut short my rant today. I had a whole rant plan and everything about a lot of stuff. I had a lot
including Brazil.
Oh. You want to talk about bad reffing? Just watch that whole entire game for me and tell me how the heck is a hand offsides again? Don't know. I don't know. Chile deserved to win that game. And how many fouls were called against them to not allow that? A lot. So yeah. But
what are we starting with?
Well, we started with the no-hitter, but it's old news. So there's some news from the Tour de France. The first round, right after the gate, the sign that the girl was holding up knocked out all those racers, has now been caught, and actually was going to be sued and is not going to be sued anymore.
Oh. Okay.
Thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think they made the right call not suing her. She's just a fan trying to have some fun. I think it was just like an accident. You know,
they're trying to stop the signs too, though. That's the problem.
It did hurt a lot of people, but
it actually made one disqualify from the race.
Oh.
Which means that it by all means he can go sue her. Like I think he can do that. I think that would be actually right to do that because he could have possibly won it, but we don't know because he's hurt. So he could have won the whole thing. But
I don't know if you need to go too far just for that, but
yeah. You know. But if
you need like maybe a settlement, I don't know.
Like they enjoy having the fans there. It's the fact of that that literally it came right out of the gates and she was not even looking at him at all and just ran into him. Yes, beautiful ocean pictures. Well, we have tons of possible things here. The possible big oof of the game after 6th victory by the Islanders. I see throw cans at players.
Oh yes.
Old news again too. We got a little old news.
But we do have another big oof of the week, and that is
the dude missing his firstborn child for the loss versus the third loss in the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh God. The Stanley Cup Finals is just a mess. A $98 million team is in the finals, and it's showing. It's just showing.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna look up Montreal Canadiens salary cap. Just real quick.
If they're even like close to like 80, I'll be surprised.
Well, the salary is 81.5, so you know I know they made some deals to try and get close to that. Like, we'll see. They have What in the world? Okay. 70 mil. Close to 71 mil.
71 mil versus a 98 mil team.
They have a lot of cap space too. Just imagine what happens if they add a player or two with all that cap. They have 10 mil in cap space.
That's too much. Too much. There needs to be something that
just the difference between those teams, and everyone's like, well, why couldn't we have Vegas and Tampa? That would have been interesting. Vegas and Tampa.
Well, the difference between those two teams is just going to be the same exact thing. Because
I don't know. I think it would be more interesting because if Carey Price wouldn't have stopped and like completely like destroyed the entire Vegas Golden Knights team, who knows what would happen.
If only Carey Price could just all of a sudden do that versus Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay's just got lucky in that one game. Just going from one tournament to another. Oh, yeah, he did say he was gonna win it, so he called it from the beginning of the whole thing.
He called it from the beginning.
Yeah, unless all of a sudden Carey Price becomes just the god in net again and just starts blocking every single shot that they throw at him, even the deflections.
You can't root against the Lightning when they're overcapped.
But I mean, that one Leafs fan I saw a thing. He paid like $11,000 in spite just to hate on the Canadians. It's like that.
Okay, so we have some reviews from one tournament to another tournament. We're going from hockey to soccer.
Wimbledon. Oh, not Wimbledon. Oh.
We're not going to Wimbledon. That's next. We got to cover this first. Holy crap. Is all I have to say about the first two rounds of 16 of knockout stages.
Oh, wait. Are we talking Europa or Copa America?
Europa. We're talking Europa.
Okay. Freaking France, Aaron. How do you feel about your team losing?
How do you feel about Kylian Mbappe missing that penalty kick?
Was the one who lost it for you, too.
At least it is not. Boy, he's just warming up for the World Cup next year.
Oh. That's like, yeah, well.
Toulouse versus Switzerland is not very good for the World Cup next year.
Don't they have the Olympics coming up too? So
yeah, they have the Olympics coming up. But to get beat by Switzerland of all teams, Switzerland.
They were winning.
I did think they were going to win versus Spain. I think they outplayed Spain. They definitely should have won that, I think.
Yeah, well, here's the rundown of the round of 16. We got the 4-0 to Denmark over Wales. Italy beat Austria 2-1. Netherlands lost to Czech Republic 2-0. What a cracker of a game that was. Belgium won 1-0 over Portugal. The goal game. Spain wins 5-3 over Croatia. France has a nice loss in penalty kicks to Switzerland, 5-4 by Kylian Mbappe's miss by Summer's save there. And Sweden loses to Ukraine 2-1. Oh boy. And we're heading into the quarterfinals here. Switzerland versus Spain, 1-1. And they ended up losing it. Switzerland lost it in penalty kicks 3-1. Belgium lost to Italy. What a surprise there that was. 2-1 Italy over Belgium. Czech Republic lost versus Denmark 2-1. And no surprise, England totally smacked the pants off of Ukraine 4-0.
Of course, obviously. Why wouldn't they?
And the setup of the two semifinals. It is Italy versus Spain and England versus Denmark. Do we think it can come home, boys?
I think England's going to win.
You know, at this point, I think Spain probably might pull it out.
Really? Because I think they're going to lose to Italy.
Well, they have Neymar.
Who has name? What?
Still.
Oh, well, you know, what I see is somehow Denmark could pull it off. This is where it gets iffy here because Italy's had good games and Italy has bad games. And Italy has been decent and Spain has been decent, but they haven't played the same level as teams, so you can't really say that Spain's going to win over Italy, but you can't really say Italy's going to lose to Spain. That's probably the tighter game of the two, and I think England's just going to win versus Denmark. It just seems like it, because I mean.
Well, yeah, I think there's no doubt.
Them starting off with Wales, and then going to Czech Republic. I mean, Czech Republic's good and all, but yeah, just 2 easy games to slip in there. Though England, I do have to say, had beat Germany 2-0. That was their game, and then Ukraine just as a kind of like a warm-up game to the semifinals. But we'll see here. I'm kind of seeing an England-Italy final. That's kind of what I saw since the start of the tournament here with that. But I definitely think Italy could pull out a victory here. I think that's what's going to happen. I think England is just going to get surprised. They're going to not play their they're going to play attack. They're not going to play as much attacking football, I think, in the final as they will in semifinals and everything. So and I think Kane getting on the board helped them a lot in the Germany game, but
yeah,
I just don't see him going versus Italy and scoring that much. So I'm thinking it might go to Italy this year. Thinking it's in Italy like an almost 2-1 victory over England. Yeah, it's like a 2-1 victory. I think Italy's winning over Spain in overtime.
Our finals are together. We agree on the finals.
Just the different ways it's going.
Mine's kind of like a little stab in the dark. I don't really know too much. I watch England, here and there, but
I mean, if Eriksson pulls it out for Denmark, we could see something. But I don't see it happening versus England with just the power up top. With pretty much they could have Grealish, Jack Grealish. They have Sterling. They have Kane. They have Sancho. They have Foden, they have Rashford, Greenwood. They have tons of players up on the attacking front, and I just don't see it happening today for Denmark on that one.
Oh, I'm taking over the camera now.
My phone.
Oh boy. And then we go in from Euros to Copa America here to South America.
Yeah.
We travel to South America here.
For what?
I'm taking back over.
We had
Tournament to tournament.
Well, we were talking about England. Yeah. So if you're done with that type of England, let's move over to the other England tournament type thing. The other England. It's Wimbledon.
Well, I was gonna go with soccer, but
Oh, okay, fine.
Well,
you're the top guy. You're the top guy.
I was gonna recap Copa America real quick for everybody that hasn't been watching it. Both Peru and Paraguay in their quarterfinal match both got a red card. It went to a 3-3 tie and then went into penalties. 4-3 for Peru. Brazil won 1-0 over Chile, even though that stupid goal was overturned because of a stupid offsides. I'm not getting into a rant because I'll waste most of our time doing that. Colombia beat Uruguay.
Check out nickblog.com for more details on that game. I mean the Steelman blog.
Steelman blog. Colombia versus Uruguay 0-0 went into penalty kicks. Colombia came on top 4-2 in penalties. And today at 9 p.m. or in 30 minutes, Ecuador will be playing Argentina. So your setup will be Brazil versus Peru and Colombia versus whoever wins the Argentina and Ecuador game. There's your rundown. Let's head to Wimbledon.
Oh, Wimbledon, everybody. Okay. So,
let me go.
What do you mean, let me go?
Wimbledon. Let me talk first.
You don't know much. What do you know? You know the two players, the big two.
Big two.
So, surprise, Rafael Nadal decided, he's out. I think he has injuries, He went in the semifinal against Djokovic in the French Open. Lost to Djokovic, who ended up winning versus Tsitsipas. Also surprised, Tsitsipas, who went in the final, lost in the first round at Wimbledon.
Oh.
It's crazy somehow time this goes. But everybody knew it was going to either be, there are a bunch of key players. The three best of all time are all playing. Djokovic,
Yep.
Nadal,
Yep.
and Federer.
Mm-hmm.
Still, but Nadal is not in it. So it's really Federer and Djokovic. For just reference, Federer is like 39 years old or 41.
Yep.
I think it's 39. So he's pretty old, but I guess in tennis they can play a lot longer than they can than players in other sports. So Federer got a gift. We're going to talk about the center court real quick because everybody was slipping and sliding that first.
Yeah. I was seeing all the highlights and stuff.
Serena Williams had to forfeit. The guy who Federer was playing had to forfeit. Djokovic was sliding left and right in some of the matches. It was crazy. And I guess they figured something out because they're not slipping as much now.
Oh.
But
why were they slipping anyway? I saw a lot of slipping.
There were storms. There were storms coming in. It's grass. It's grass. Field.
Yeah.
Or grass court.
I know
so
it was
no
on
surprise.
Grass, but
Djokovic has been flying through.
Yeah.
Well, it took it again.
Well, yeah. Federer, after getting a little iffy in the first one, found his game a little, and he's moved on to the round of 16, which we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
And most people will think that we're going to see, Djokovic and Federer.
2019 Wimbledon.
Some people think, they think we're going to see Djokovic and Federer again. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm saying Federer is not going to make it to the final.
Oh.
Just his little up and down streak right now. He had injuries and stuff, and he went out of the French Open just so he could prepare for this, but it doesn't So I'm just gonna go with Djokovic, number one.
Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah.
I mean, you got some players like Zverev who could go in there and still win it, or
But it's pretty much primarily between Federer and Djokovic.
That's mainly who we're gonna probably see. They've won close to 20. I think they're all in the 19 through 23 range. All three of them best of all time. They're top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
Of major tournaments won.
Yeah. So I think what probably might happen is I think Djokovic, like you said, Djokovic will win it, and I think Federer might have his downslope right around the semifinals to finals.
Yeah.
Kind of get into he hits the groove and then he drops off near the end of it. That's my thought.
So I'm just checking real quick to see if they will end up playing. So if Djokovic and Federer play, they will play in the final.
Yeah.
So it's not semi-final. They're not on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And Federer's bracket is kind of loaded, whereas Djokovic is not so much.
He can breeze through.
For Federer's bracket, you got Medvedev number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Federer's number 6 in the world right now because he didn't play the French Open and he got surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you got Zverev, who's number 4 in there, and Berrettini, who's number 7, who's been a pretty big surprise actually.
Yeah.
Who's in there, and Djokovic, the best he's got is number 5 Rublev, who, to be honest, I didn't really know until now. So, I don't know if he's much of a threat, but they'll play next round if they both win.
Yeah.
And Djokovic, Federer, and then on the women's side, you want to go on the women's side?
Barty?
You want to talk about Coco and Barty?
No.
Coco and Barty. Coco US, Barty from wherever. They've been flying through, and they're on the same side of the bracket, so they're gonna meet.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't really been too much.
I know.
So he's leaving. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Okay, let's hurry it up.
Okay. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Doubles started. Doubles aren't really much of a thing. It's mainly singles are the main thing. You can keep up with doubles, but not really Djokovic plays in doubles in different tournaments, and he can win singles pretty. I mean, he can win the singles, but doubles with another person, it adds a different element.
Yeah.
So doubles doesn't really it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah.
Better for the players because it's just laid back, not as serious as singles.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some of the highlights of those couple of people that kind of mess around in the doubles where they're kind of throwing balls and just
they're just bing, 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 right at the net. They're just back and forth.
I love how the two always get into it, and then the other twos are kind of like, well, we're
Yeah.
not needed, or like sit down on the field. It's
So
always
that's
fun to see
pretty
that.
much it. I'm gonna go with Djokovic, and again, haven't really seen much of the women, so I know 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably like figure out more of them by just looking at it.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll go with Coco. She's ranked 20, but she's been pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
She's a pretty good player. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens tomorrow when she plays on center court. Second match of the day after Djokovic, and then Federer right after her.
Yeah.
All on ESPN.
Well, I do have a fight review to do, so I think we'll go from one sport that has a 1v1 to another sport that has a 1v1, and that is called boxing. Now,
Ooh.
there was this fight, Magunda versus Zamata, I believe. This was short notice for Zamata. Magunda was trying to get a fight here, and so in the fight, like I said, what would happen? Zamata would have to take him down early. And what happened was he was getting the punches in right in early. He just didn't get the power shots he needed to knock him down. He didn't have the correct oomph, because if Magunda hit him, but it was like right off the start, he threw a couple punches, and then that was it for him. Like he needed to throw that like first punch like really hard to earn Magunda's respect, because what ended up happening is that he really threw a kind of lousy couple punches right at the start, combination thing. It hit him. It hit the couple of the jabs hit, a couple of the rights hit, but then that was kind of it for him for the rest of the fight, because Magunda was like, I'll take over now, and then comes in and just boxes him out of the like just totally just takes him to town, throwing jabs, using his jabs, setting up rights and left hooks, just taking him down. And yeah, it was not a good fight for Zamata on short notice, but pretty much I do have to say good fight overall from Maguna there, kind of showing him his prowess and how really technical and how very powerful he is in the boxing world, and could get him some bigger fights versus like Triple G and some of them in the 160s, and he could start making that weight class a little bigger. I think Maguna might be the face of that weight class if he really gets high enough and really makes it up there. But he's looking really good for in that weight class, and very good fight, I do have to say. I liked watching the highlights. It was one of those highlight reel ones where you just kind of watch the highlights for it. But yeah. Though I do hear that somebody is joining TNT and TBS. Also, somebody also is joining ESPN. Can you please debrief us on who are joining those stations, Adam?
Yes. I would like to talk about Logan Paul and that whole thing.
Yes.
A little more than later, but Wayne Gretzky is joining TNT and their coverage of NHL. And
beautiful. Mark Messier?
Mark Messier. That's the other one.
Messier?
I was blanking because there are like a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And he's joining ESPN because they couldn't land Gretzky. I know they were trying. ESPN was trying to land Gretzky. You can't land Mario because he is the owner of the Pens. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that should be pretty fun to get like a legend's perspective.
Yeah, that's good. It kind of gets from like
Wayne Gretzky has always been kind of fun to like listen to and see like what he thinks of like the new generation type of stuff. So I think this should be interesting, and I think it's a good move on both of their parts.
It'll bring like a new aspect. Like he'll be looking at it like
really didn't have with theirs.
It's gonna add this like new level of like interaction when like looking at it, because I think now fans will get to see the side of it, like of older players now watching the younger generations kind of come in and take their spots and everything and play. I think it's really going to be cool bringing that aspect in where, hey, we'll get to see like what they think about it and what it looks to them, how it's going.
And NBC did have some players and stuff, but like not of the caliber that like, Gretzky and Messier were both at.
But definitely enough to give a little insight.
Yeah, that should be pretty. I think
Yeah,
that would be.
yeah. Along with that, there is the first head coach for Seattle Kraken
More
is now Dave.
Dave
How do you say his last name?
Hackstall.
Hackstall. Oh,
Again,
well,
kind
there
of
you go, Hackstall, being the first coach ever for the Seattle Kraken.
yes.
Give him a round of applause for that.
And some interesting news was everybody for weeks thought it was going to be Rick Tocchet, who was the assistant coach for the Pens when they won the back-to-back cups.
Yeah.
Arizona then hired him as their head coach. They mutually parted ways after the season. And like he had 3 interviews with Seattle, and then all of a sudden Dave Hackstall
comes out of nowhere.
And this is a move that a lot of people think, including myself, that they're not going to try Vegas type.
Yeah.
It went with the home run swings right away, and you can still see them doing it.
I guess Kraken's trying for like that slow build-up.
Yes, like developing. So they're probably young players developing, I think. They're probably not going to like the big guns right away,
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to slowly develop a franchise over time and really build it up.
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron. We're talking about the Seattle Kraken.
And they do get the number 2 pick in their draft, which I don't know. There are a couple players they can select, and we can get into that close to the time. But the expansion draft is the 21st, and I believe teams have to have their protected players in like 4 or so many days in advance, so we can get through all that when that happens.
Yes. Well, speaking of drafts, we are going on to the NBA draft. How do I say this? Lottery here.
Lottery, yep.
And we're going to give you
won that
20. Here we go. Bringing it up here. I have to. Sorry, I can't exactly remember it. Who was there? I believe is it Detroit Pistons were first. It was
Detroit. I know Detroit was there. I think Toronto was like 3rd or 4th.
Here we go. I'll give you the rundown here. So your first round for your NBA draft of next year or 2021. Wait, 2021, yeah. Detroit, Houston, Cleveland. So Detroit Pistons, Houston Spurs, I believe, Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto, Orlando, Oklahoma City, Golden State. Actually got it from Minnesota, Orlando from Chicago, Sacramento, New Orleans, Charlotte, San Antonio, Indiana, Golden State, Washington, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Oklahoma City again, New York, Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles Lakers, Houston, LA Clippers, Denver, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Utah, and that is your 31st picks.
Okay. And they only have 2 rounds in the NBA draft, I know.
Yes.
So, yeah, because they only need to have, 10 players or so many on the court at once. So it's not like football where you need,
28 players on the bench, too. It's more like, it's more kind of respectful. You need to now kind of work your butt off to get in these spots.
NBA and basketball in general is very rare to, see, more. It's very rare to get into that NBA.
Yeah.
More so than football or that.
Yeah. You have to be top talent like Orlando Ball or Giannis Antetokounmpo or some of those guys coming up right away because you knew their names since high school. So those are kind of the guys when you see they're kind of getting up there. Though speaking of which, since we're talking about high school, I would like to go to college real quick and get all our thoughts and rundown of this NCAA rules on this North Carolina.
Who was it?
North Carolina versus Vanderbilt.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yes. So there was another NCAA thing, which I thought we were going to get into, but we can do that next. I didn't add to the list.
And Mississippi has won the College World Series.
They won 9-0 in Game 3. They literally took Vanderbilt and they threw them out the dry. And Vanderbilt has the best pitcher in the nation or something like that.
Yeah.
Prospective number 1 overall pick, hopefully maybe to the Pirates, unless they screw it up they screw everything up.
Oh, they always screw everything up. Don't worry.
They probably won't take him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, what is this thing about? I see COVID. I feel sorry for the North Carolina State
Yes.
here,
Yep.
tested positive. One of the unranked teams in the tournament that made it this far. No contest, and Vanderbilt moved right into the final. I think that is, yeah. For me, I understand COVID protocol here, and it's two of them. But if two of them did test positive and they weren't really around the other players, now, not to say that was there, but
Yeah. It was the two players who tested.
But
and
if it was two players and they weren't really around other players, then I don't see any problem with them playing.
I think it's stupid because this is an underdog story. You know, how many times do you get something as big as this type of thing?
Then it just ends on COVID.
And they couldn't find a way to reschedule it, everything, which I think is kind of stupid too.
Yeah, they just kind of went, nope, no contest, boop, Vanderbilt in the finals. There you go. It just seems like they didn't even try. They kind of just went, well, you got COVID. Well, we don't care.
You know, maybe it would make for an more interesting, World Series final because Mississippi won 9-0 in Game 3.
Yeah, and it kind of was like Mississippi winning it.
They scored like 7 or so runs in the first inning or something like that, and it was like, oh, come on,
Yeah, what could have happened if North Carolina made it in? They could have been playing with heart and all of a sudden won the whole thing. Just imagine that.
That would have been.
Yeah.
That would have been. Had you debate what was the bigger underdog story, Canadian or NC State?
That's respectfully one of the non-proud moments of the NCAA. Their non-proud moments of trying to work it out to try to get this underdog story, or any team really should get the chance to play, even with COVID. I know it's two players, but like if it's only two players, then you gotta just say, hey, can we try to reschedule this? Can you play with this many people?
I mean,
how many people do you have out? And you got to think they have like a certain amount of people around them constantly to make sure that they're good and with COVID and everything. So it's like, it's not like they're not being monitored 100% of the time. So why can't they like try to do something and allow them to go? Like, respectfully, I have to say that is not a good moment by them. But we have to move on now with Mississippi winning it all.
The NCAA new rule about college players getting paid next time a little.
We could see some college players getting paid. Oh boy, in scholarships, which would help them. I think respectfully that'll be good. I do hear that we want to actually do another little segment at the end here about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. What is this about? I heard maybe Floyd Mayweather made a ton of freaking money. I mean, $100 million.
He called it a fake fight too. After we saw the video of him knocking out Logan Paul and holding him up the whole time.
Here's my thoughts on this fight.
It's confirmed.
Here's my thoughts on this fight. Logan Paul hugged the crap out of Floyd Mayweather the whole entire fight.
Like they were dating.
And at first I'm thinking, okay, Logan's doing pretty good. Until as I saw later on rounds, it was like, okay, I was rooting for him there for a while. And then later on, when I rewatched the fight, it was just Logan Paul laying on Floyd Mayweather the whole entire fight. Yeah, he was literally, he was like that. And Floyd Mayweather was holding his butt up. You could tell because he was like
Floyd Mayweather, who's going to turn down $100 million, even if they fake a fight.
Yeah. And think about it this
that's
way.
All I got on.
Yeah, here's also my thought. Like, let's take this fake fight out of it. When you watch the fight over, you see Logan Paul is throwing punches, but they're not like connecting with power or anything. He doesn't have any power behind him. Like the first couple punches you see from Floyd Mayweather, quick, snappy, and powerful. Yeah, like that, exactly. And then Floyd Mayweather's like boom, boom, boom. He was just like, he had it up here, so he was protecting his face. But I mean, at that point, Floyd Mayweather could have just went like this, took all the punches to the face, went and just whammed him with a nice little jab to set up a hook and just knocked him out. to be respectful.
I don't know what proof we need to call that staged.
Yeah. It did not look like a real fight at all when you rewatch it.
It was very disappointing.
Yeah, very, very disappointing. You know, if I was Logan Paul, I would. I mean, to me, that would just be disrespectful to my name if I'm boxing Floyd Mayweather. If I get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather, okay, I will get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. I would want to just fight him, actually fight him, like actually one-on-one, real fight, not a where it's kind of like you're just laying on him and holding him up. It was, yeah. I like to be seriously honest. He kind of lost that fight and kind of lost my respect after that. But
Aaron,
we
what-
want to
what-
say goodbye for the short podcast. Can you please give us the lead out, Aaron?
Dollars.
Oh, Aaron doesn't think you should have got paid.
Well, why would you get
Oh,
paid to fake a fight?
I know. Oof. Hey, let's
Sounds
talk
like they're
about how much did Neymar give the refs in the Brazilian versus Chile game? I want to know.
250, 250K easily.
Yeah, I swear that ref. I swear, I wanted to see like Vidal like slip $100 when he was shaking the ref's hands
Yeah.
after the first half. Just
Thank
there you go,
sir.
sir. And yep,
Oh.
thank you. Okay, Chile gets the goal. Respectfully, Brazil should be counting their lucky freaking stars right now. That goal at the 55 seconds into the second half, just luck, pure luck. Just the whole thing for Brazil was pure luck. Chile outplayed them in every single way. That offsides, I'm going to come back to this, was not offsides. How can a freaking hand be offsides?
So Aaron,
A freaking hand.
this is the rant he was talking about earlier.
I'm trying not to do it, but okay. Wait, I think we have one more topic, don't we?
Aaron, do you want to talk? You want to introduce the next topic?
What is it?
You don't have time?
What topic is it?
We don't have time for what was it? It was something about like a pad or something like that.
Something. We'll get
Yeah.
to it.
We'll get to it later. Well, Steelman. We'll see you in the next one. Aaron, please lead us out with all the ending stuff.
Yeah. What do you say?
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button. Make sure that subscribe button is red. Leave a like, turn your post notifications all so you get all the new topics and stay still strong.
Stay strong.
We will see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.